Do you not think that everybody experiences some bullying along the way?
No. This is probably the thing that most of you are probably waiting for us to talk about. Dysfunctional homes, past trauma, being bullied, peer pressure, and popularity. What did I do to contribute to this? Growing up in an environment where bullying or aggression is common can normalize it. There's a group of people that don't like my mom.
He threatened to me, and I thought he was serious.
Why do kids do this?
If we were face to face with them,
They wouldn't say it to your face.
they wouldn't say a darn thing. They'd be nice as pie.
Yes. Welcome to a very special episode of From Wise to Wise, where we're finally in person. On today's episode, we are talking about a much wanted topic. This is probably the thing that most of you are probably waiting for us to talk about. And if you have no idea what we're referencing right now, stay tuned because you're in for a doozy.
I like how we're sitting exactly the same. It's genetic.
You copied it from me.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about bullying. We are not mental health professionals. We are
Correct.
just becoming experts in our own brains.
Yes.
So, we're going to be talking about some experiences in our lives as children and young adults of bullying that we've been, that have happened to us. That was a terrible way to say it. Experienced. And then we're going to talk about the why behind why people with neurodivergence are targeted and why people become bullies. And then we're going to talk about cyberbullying that we have both experienced. So buckle your seatbelts because this is going to be fun.
E-ticket. My generation. E-ticket. Oh, that's so sad. Disneyland there was a book of tickets, A, B, C, D, E-tickets. E-tickets were the roller coasters and the very sought after rides. And they were like I feel like a lot of people right now are Jordan.
This might be bullying.
Okay. So bullying in our childhood, I feel like both of us have experience with being bullied.
Do you not think that everybody experiences some bullying along the way?
No.
Really?
No.
Because see, that's what we're always taught is that it's just part of it's, that's what they call it. It's junior high, it's high school. Like it's a common, well, I guess there are the bullies and then there are the receivers of the bully.
And then there's just like normal kids that don't get involved.
See, I've always just thought, okay, like it's just
Everybody
like
gets
everybody, goes through this.
No, because there's the quintessential, like you see it in movies, like the nerds get bullied. And maybe everyone has experienced some level of bullying in their lives, but definitely not a consistent, like you are targeted, bullied, thrown in lockers, like play pranks on that are not fun. Like there's levels to it.
See, when I went to high school, like freshmen, you always had to be scared as a freshman because I forget what they called it.
Dozing?
No, they didn't know, but there was a term for it where like you could get thrown in a garbage can or you could get stuck in a locker or like because freshmen were always vulnerable. Like, but then like not every freshman went through that. Yeah.
The nerds did.
The vulnerable ones did.
The ones that didn't fit in. The ones that were a little quirky. The ones that,
Yeah, you're right. Mean Girls movie. Great movie.
Good movie.
So accurate.
My biggest bully, I think, was my stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
Which that psychologically just messes with you. But kind of that layer of like being bullied in high school is how I learned to like fit in. So I, like the jokes that are like mean spirited that like you're all palling up and making fun of each other, but like people were actually making fun of me. I was just trying to fit in. I remember someone tagged me in a post on Facebook because Facebook was the only social media when I was in high school. And it was the hippo from The Small World because the eyebrows. And I didn't get it. I didn't get it for the longest time. And 2 years later, someone explained it to me and I was like, that is so rude. Because that person was not my friend.
And we know kids are so cruel anyway. Like they have
Kids
the
can be
ability
very
to just. So my Land Junior High was known as String Bean. So. Yes.
Wait. My nickname was Toothpick.
Well, see, my real name is Deneen. So Deneen the String Bean.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was my thing. Or I would get told, stand sideways and hold your tongue out. Oh, look, you're a zipper.
I'm not laughing.
I mean, it's kind of fun. But that was, because I was super thin and I called me like scrawny. I was a scrawny bucktooth, wore glasses, had the cowlick.
We have
Yeah.
the problem of not being able to gain weight. Like it is a problem. It's don't sit here and look and be like, well, they're so skinny. Yeah, because I can't digest the nutrients I need.
Yeah.
But
I hope yours doesn't turn into crumbs.
I don't know. There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I know. Just genetic.
But I remember in 4th grade, I was bullied so bad that I was throwing up every single day before I went to school. And so you pulled me out of school because
Yeah, I did.
all of the kids were like bullying me.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. I didn't understand why that was a bad thing. I also didn't understand that why kids were hurting me physically. We would go, there was a little fence, and then you go behind the fence. You're not supposed to go behind the fence because that's no long of a schoolyard. But they'd be like, yeah, let's all go hang out back here. And then they would push me down and I remember one time I blacked out and lost my breath. You hit so hard in the back that you're just and I'm just what the thinking back, why do kids do this? Who was your biggest bully?
My brother. Which is really crazy because he was also my protector. On one hand, if anybody else would approach his sister, here's right there,
But him.
but then we'd get home and he would chase me around the house with a baseball bat. Oh, he'd threatened to kill me.
Nice.
And I thought he was serious. But then I would get hurt and he would protect me. You see a pattern here with the men I chose?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I always just was trying to have my brother I just wanted him to be proud of me. I just wanted my brother to be proud of me.
You look up to them.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a similar relationship with my sister.
Okay.
I definitely remember instances of her playing mean-spirited pranks. And do you remember the dog poop incident?
No.
That she had one of those fake little dog poops. It was just a
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
And the dog apparently pooped that looked exactly like the dog poo. And so she kept telling me oh, go grab it for me. Go grab it for me. I was smart enough. I didn't grab it. I was no, I don't think so. But she tried to grab the poop. But she did a bunch of mean-spirited things like that.
Yeah, there's a whole dynamic there that maybe one day you and her can discuss. But that does not surprise me to say that.
And then me to my little sister, I picked on her relentlessly because I could push her buttons. I knew how to push her buttons.
Which gives you an understanding of why it happens.
Yeah.
I remember an incident too. I was in 5th grade. I believe it was 5th grade. And there was actually a group that chased me, and you know how you felt safe going into the girls' bathroom and locking the door? How stupid that is. That's really, yeah. But I remember running into the girls' bathroom and locking a door, and I just started screaming at the top of my lungs, help me, help me, help me. Finally, a teacher heard me, but they had run off. They were gone. But I just I remember the trauma of I really thought this group was going to
do something
beat me up. Yeah.
Ugh, I was shoved in lockers. I was never thrown in a trash can. Oh, no, I take that back. I was put in a trash can. I was tiny.
So gross.
And then...
Remember what your nickname was?
Elfie.
Because you were... Well, now we know you were stunted.
Yeah, well, also, there was a teacher that helped the bullies pick on me. Yeah, adults and children dynamic. It was inappropriate. They helped them duct tape me to a chair.
I mean, you were stunted because of the stepmother who wouldn't feed you.
What do you mean?
You didn't... What?
What do you mean she wouldn't feed me?
She wouldn't feed you.
She force-fed me. We didn't know.
No, well, but she wanted you to be a vegetarian.
Hold on. Okay, look. She would put more food on my plate than my dad had on his plate. It was a lot of...
We don't need to go there right now. But no, that was one of the big fighting points of this. Here you are, a growing young girl, and she didn't want to give you any protein.
No.
Anyway, that's a whole other levels.
Let's talk about the science of why. And I know we've talked about our neurodivergence before, and it was important for us to talk about that in the first episode because it literally just layers into all of these other topics, and especially this one, because people with neurodivergence are targeted because they're usually outcasts, but not only by just like regular bullying, by narcissists specifically. This is scientifically proven that narcissists target neurodivergent people because they are vulnerable.
Can we talk about why they're vulnerable? Let me give my theory on why they're vulnerable. Because we see the world differently. We pick up on things differently. Where a lot of us are, let's see if I can articulate it. Like a lot of people use the term OCD. I always thought I was OCD. Like that was always like the thing because we want things a certain way. We want the safety of this is how the
picture
world
it
looks like. And neurotypical people are like, that's weird.
Well,
that's not the way it is.
Have you heard of the phrase, did defiancy, does it? Oh, now I gotta look something up. But our brain, when we see something, we go like, we're in the middle of something and then somebody either tells us like, this change gears or to stop that.
We can't. Yeah.
Yeah, it pisses us off. It makes us angry.
Well, it's funny because you'll be having a conversation and someone will do that. And then you kind of, well, maybe you don't, but that's what I do. So let them like say their thing. And then I pick back up.
Right.
Where left off.
You're just kind of you're waiting for them to stop talking.
Yes.
You're not listening. You're just like,
because I gotta finish. What I was trying to get out.
Okay. Anyway, from Psychology Today, neurodivergent traits and differences can be attractive to narcissists. Undiagnosed and unsupported neurodivergent people are more vulnerable to narcissistic abuse and mistreatment. Trusting your gut is critical, but can be harder for neurodivergent people. Understanding neurodivergent traits can help people keep safe from future abusive and unhealthy relationships. So it's not just me saying it. There is scientific research behind why narcissists target people with neurodivergent.
Well, it's also something as we've taken this journey, we've been informed like this is like there's nothing wrong with you, but you attract a certain type of people into your life that have this behavior.
Well, and especially because my father, narcissist,
raging,
bad.
Your father, stepfather.
Okay, stepfather. But the what I'm painting the picture of is the examples of men we had in our life to grow up with, and what we were shown is this is how
most
they
recent
act.
Ex-husband.
That is what you are wired to look for.
Yeah. Have I ever told you, like, my first serious boyfriend was so kind and normal, it didn't feel right. And I broke up with him for no good reason other than I just was like, why isn't he treating me the way that everybody else treats me?
I didn't have the butterflies, which is the anxiety, by the way. And I was like, oh, maybe I just don't like him. And I felt so uncomfortable that I was like, avoid him.
I still feel guilty that I broke his heart because he was such a good guy. My life would have been so completely different had I gone.
You were 14?
16.
Okay. Yeah.
So
because those relationships last.
So I went a very bad path.
Okay. Why do people become bullies?
Did you say Billies?
Bullying me?
I was thinking like Billy Goat. I don't know if there's just one reason, but in adults, I see there is some hurt or some unresolved issues, that we trigger in them that like it's an acting out. It's a control mechanism. It's
puff out your chest and like fake it till you make it.
And because we do take everything so to heart, it is easy to intimidate and get us to back down and, or trigger us in a way that they can go, aha, Lexi, you are crazy.
Okay, thank you. I definitely see bullies as people that don't want to look at themselves and are willing to talk about other people to position themselves as, up here. So like, if I lower the bar for someone else, I don't have to work on myself.
Oh, well, yeah. No, yeah. So I said there isn't I don't think there is just like one reason, which probably is why it's so prevalent. And please do fact check me.
You're correct. There are multiple reasons. It often stems from deep-seated issues like low self-esteem, insecurity, or past trauma, leading them to seek power, control, or popularity by putting others down.
It always makes it. I wonder if any study has ever been done on the children who were bullies and looked into what their circumstances were.
Like, well, have you ever?
Well, no, even like were they Were they experiencing things at home? Is there a commonality between,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh my gosh, how prevalent is all
Have you heard the term like peaked in high school?
No.
This might be from my generation. So it basically is the people that were popular, that were the jocks, the cheerleaders, the quintessential, like cool kids that picked on, not necessarily, there's people who didn't, but the ones that were the bullies. And then the people who had bad tax were the people that got bullied. And traditionally, if you peaked in high school, this means, the rest of your life after high school was a decline.
Okay. Yeah.
And the people that were bullied oftentimes do better after high school. So that's kind of that.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Trying to think. Well, like the 90s is when social media began to kick in. Yes. Yahoo groups is where it began.
You call it not social media? Okay.
Yahoo groups.
Sure.
Trust me.
You got bullied in Yahoo groups?
Yep. No. But this is where the whole being anonymous behind a keyboard thing started to come into play. It was in the 90s.
Interesting.
And then I don't know when Facebook, there was MySpace first.
Yeah.
The precursor to Facebook, but then Facebook was the one that took off. And then all of a sudden you can be anybody you want behind a keyboard and say whatever you want to people.
Mostly about celebrities.
Originally, but it's really gotten to be a free-for-all. Like, well, now, we progressed into this. It's really gotten bad over the last 5 years.
Okay.
Over the last 5 years, it is.
There's some sites that are worse than others. We're not there yet. You want to go there. We're still talking about the why. We're talking about the scientific why people become bullies.
Well, what I was going to say is those people you're talking about who progressed into adulthood now have a means to act out their unhappiness with life.
Sure. And they don't want to face their own unhappiness, so they target it at other people.
Yes.
Dysfunctional homes, past trauma, being bullied, peer pressure, and popularity. All reasons. Growing up in an environment where bullying or aggression is common can normalize it, which this is a big one I've seen play out in media a lot, where the usually male bully, their dad bullies them. So then they learn that behavior and they become the bully.
Well, right. Yeah, because kids do learn behavior.
Oh man, I'm thinking of a Hey Arnold episode, I'm pretty sure, where this was like one of the characters, like this played out, which heavy for children's television.
Well, I'm also just thinking too, it's also, women were taught to just shut up and take it.
Women, honestly, are some of the biggest bullies because maybe
like some are, so some are acting out, but others are like, I'm just like supposed to take this, especially when the bullying comes from a male figure.
I'm trying to think, as a kid, I was bullied by boys. I wasn't really bullied by girls. They just ignored me because I was weird.
Yeah, same.
But as an adult, I was bullied more by women and men. I don't know if they ignored me. They just used me.
Yeah, it's different.
It is.
The narcissists target you, and if you try to stand up to them, it just accelerates their behavior. Yeah. Worse. Hello, Dixie.
Hello. Have you ever been bullied?
There's this black cat that lives in this house, and he's a bully.
Dozer is a bully. So there's a lot of... And here's the other thing. Happy people who are focused on making their life better don't look at other people and put them down. And I think that's a big thing that we...
Yeah. Do you think it is like that judgment thing of like, I see you as better than me and I want to bring you down a notch to make myself feel better?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the, like, I don't know how many quotes about motivational, like if you're being bullied, like if someone is trying to bring you down, it means they recognize they're below you, and there's so much truth to that statement of like, it's trying to make yourself feel better for where you're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something that you do that makes them feel bad about themselves. Mm-hmm. They don't like that, and they have to project it onto.
Or it's the opposite, where, you see a lot of people being bullied online for, there's a lot of creators that make rage bait. So there's this one specific creator that she cooks meals for her family, but she intentionally does it in a way that is like greasy, like unhealthy,
Uh-huh.
So she does this on purpose, and she is a little bit overweight. And so people just in the comments flood and say, like, you're being a terrible mom. You're doing this. You're doing that. Blah, 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 blah. So I think there's this other level of it where
kind of like a reverse
it's like,
dynamic.
well, here's the bar. I'm above at least this bar kind of thing, to like make themselves feel better about their life because it's not as bad as that one.
Yeah. It's a complex thing. Like there's no way to like spell it out black and white and this is the way it is. Like humans are complex creatures. Like we are, like there's so much going on up here and life experience, and
We've all got ego.
nobody has the same experience. But what I know for a fact is I am, almost 6 decades on this planet, almost, is that whatever happened when you were a kid doesn't equate to you have to be a jerk when you're an adult.
And
otherwise, pretty much everybody would be a jerk.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got something.
I've said this so many times that if you recognize your childhood trauma and you're not doing anything to fix it, then that's on you. Like the people that have been adults longer than they've been children and are still talking about their childhood trauma.
I'm just going to give you like a kudos here. If you have adult children and they are talking to you, this generation is wiser in areas that we are not, because we just didn't have the resources when we were at this generation. And we tend to get a little stubborn. You'll be there. Well, you kind of.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of are. But what I'm saying is, if your kids are saying things to you and they are unhappy or they are not talking to you anymore, or they're just very distant, like listen to it, examine. It doesn't absolutely mean that there's something going on, but it is something that you need to look at and look inward and go, how am I contributing to this? What am I not hearing? A lot of it has to do with hearing, because we tend to be, because I actually was and still am a pretty insecure person. I'm better. But I still, I can easily go that direction. I'm working.
A lot of pep talk. I want pep talk.
But that's what I'm talking about. If I hadn't listened to you, if I'd have just tuned you out, I wouldn't be where I am now. And I would still be miserable. I mean, I would still be wondering why my kids don't want to talk to me. And I'd be wondering why all these things in life just happen to me.
Why? Why? Oh my God, it's like the name of our podcast.
But no, I just want to put that message out there, because I know my generation and older generations, it's hard. It is hard to realize that we've lived a life. You will grieve the lost time that you've had to live in a different mindset, but it's not over yet. You're still here. You're still watching this. You know how to turn on YouTube. It is never too late to get happy.
This is a good time to remind you, if you're watching YouTube, you can subscribe and like and share out this message to more people.
I would appreciate it.
This brings me to emotional intelligence. And I think that this is the thing that not enough people understand what it is or how they can bring it into themselves.
I'll just say, again, from my generation, older, like we hear all these buzzwords now. Mm-hmm. Like you've come up with a lot of things. I'm like, well, we didn't have that word, when I was your age, And that's a new one. Emotional intelligence. People are like, what? Wait, I'm smart. What are you talking about?
Emotional intelligence is actually not anything to do with your intelligence or IQ at all. It is about your ability to recognize and process and regulate your own internal emotions. And the interesting thing about emotional intelligence is it does not matter what your intellect level is or your IQ level is, you can raise your emotional intelligence. And it has been known to propel people into more successful scenarios in their life. I'm not saying this in the right way, but books by like Malcolm Gladwell and Adam Grant, and there's one more, Brene Brown. Those are 3 good ones. They focus on this concept of building your emotional intelligence and becoming that stable person.
Okay.
And I think that is the thing that we're not taught is achievable for us. We're kind of, like how many times have you been told like, oh, your IQ test, like, what's your IQ? Like, how smart are you?
Yeah, my IQ was tested when I was in 6th grade, so I know what it is.
It doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like if you can be the smartest person on the planet, but if you have no emotional intelligence, being smart doesn't actually get you anywhere in this world.
Right. Because even though you know how to solve a problem, it doesn't mean you will solve the problem because you're too emotional to solve the problem.
You don't want to look at what the problem is. Yeah. Or if you are someone that intellectualizes all of your emotions, that's a big one.
Okay. You want to explain that a little further?
Sure. We can look at, this is a big one.
It's okay. Use me as an example. Go ahead.
I was going to use me as an example.
Okay.
Actually, my therapist just recently talked to me about this with everything that was going on. This is a good segue. Everything that was going on while I was suffering from postpartum depression and anxiety with online cyberbullying. I was intellectualizing the fact that I didn't want to feel sad. And I was processing the things, and I was stating the facts, and I was journaling as if it was just happenstance, but I wasn't actually allowing myself to feel the emotions and sit with them because it just wasn't safe in that moment in time in my life. But I have an issue with intellectualizing sadness because I know I dip into depression.
Oh.
And so
yeah,
I don't let myself get to that sad place because I'm like, oh, I can't go too far.
You know what the next step is.
Yeah, I gotta cut it off at that. But then that exacerbates the problem and builds up and builds up and builds up. And then when it comes out, it is worse off than when you first could have been allowed yourself to feel that emotion and get it out and process it.
I have learned to, we talk about grief when we lose someone, or like something really bad happens, but I believe that we go through multiple times of grief on whenever we're letting go of something. And sometimes it's letting go of believing a certain thing is real. And even if it's not, you hear me, like this is deep here. So if you've grown up believing that you are ugly, you actually have to grieve letting go of that to accept somebody telling you that you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that comes with that there's a whole wrestling that happens in your head, and it is a long process sometimes. So whatever those negative messages that they're just ingrained in there, when you finally decide, like, I'm not listening to you, that's a part of you, like that you have lived with your whole life, and you're going to go through like emotional roller coaster.
Once you understand that every thought that you have is basically just neural pathways that have worked their way in connections in your brain, understanding that you can change those, and it's basically just like a canal that your brain wants the least passive resistance.
Have you heard my analogy on that?
Because I learned. We love analogies.
Well, I learned this from a psychiatrist / speaker that I used to. When I started into the whole, like, I wanted to help. I wanted to figure out what was going on. His name was Dr. William Holcomb. I think he's written even some books. Super smart guy. And he would do these talks over at the adult college, and they were free, so I would go and I'd listen. And one of them was on how the brain forms these thoughts. And so here's the thing that always resonated with me. I guess because I'm like, I grew up on Disneyland. But imagine this little guy in your brain with he's a little mining guy, and he's got his little shovel and his little cart, and he's going through your brain, doing a channel. You have to redirect him and say, no, we're not going to dig that one anymore. We're going to go over here, and this is the new way. And you've got to feed him. You've got to give him the energy to go over there and dig the new path to the goal. And that's always just stuck with me. Got to dig the new paths.
Interesting. And how many years did it take you to put that into action? Okay.
Shut up.
Again, it's not easy.
No.
And everything that we're talking about in this series, from Wise to Wise, it's not easy.
No.
And we want to be here to share the real scope of what it looks like for you. And we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not here to tell you that it's going to be okay and you're going to do it, and all of a sudden tomorrow you're going to hear our words and it's going to be different for you. It's going to be a lot of work. But
you also have to want it.
Yeah.
You have to want it. For me, it was, I want my children in my life. I wanted her in my life, and I was losing her because I wasn't getting it. And I knew I was losing you. So that was the motivation for me. It was like, oh my gosh, I got to figure this out because, when you going into psychology and like, it gave a certain credibility. You don't even know, like, if you'd have just come up with this stuff, like any kid, I probably would have been that stubborn mom and just stuck my heels in and like,
We were for a long time.
but the fact that you've gone to school and you have learned and you've been into the therapy and I've been to therapy and all of this is like connecting together. It's been a big whole process and it didn't happen overnight. Like this is years in the making that we've come to this point and things in life that have driven us to this point. And, but you have to want it. You have to want to change, just like with anything else. If you are perfectly happy with where you're sitting today and everything's hunky-dory, then don't like...
Oh, they're probably not listening.
Yeah, you're probably not. Well, you might be, but if you, like, you've got to have that why.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that why in anything. And I teach that in business too. The thing that makes you get up in the morning and do what you do, you've got to have a reason. And if you have that reason, you will do whatever it takes.
All right. Are you ready to talk about it?
Oh, let's go.
Okay. Online cyberbullying. So if you are a fortunate human being and have no idea of the cyberbullying that we faced the last year, 2 years, 3 years, how long has the group been?
3, well...
Too long.
About 3 and, it's at its waves.
Yeah. Some of you might have seen my previous video exposing the niche lady, which some people understood the concept of what I was saying, but some people thought it was clickbait. And then other people were like, what is going on? We're going to break down what was going on. Basically, there's a group of people that don't like my mom.
Apparently this is super normal when you are successful and you're out there in public,
To this day, I still do not understand why people who can acknowledge we don't like watching someone spend every single day watching that person and then commenting about them. Yeah, makes no sense to me. But alas, here we are. They grouped me in as well. Other people who have made videos about and talked with these individuals in the Reddit group don't understand my connection to the whole story. I've been involved with this longer than any. Weird. But do we want to start with the hate group being taken down 7 times, 8 times? I don't even know what number they're on now.
Yeah, I don't know. They're so committed. So committed to being bullies.
Very. But we see the lack of accountability and just the way they twist reality. And at first, I remember talking with you about the Reddit group and some of the things that they were saying. And I was like, okay, I can see, some of the things about they're talking about. I know you. Some of the things that they were saying had some truth to them. Yes. A lot of the things that they were saying were really freaking mean and unnecessary, like about appearances, about mannerisms, about they don't like the way you talk or the way you sound or the way you speak, and a lot of neurodivergent traits that they were picking up on, making fun of you for. Oh, would you imagine that? Discrediting that you're neurodivergent or that you have a disability or that you have Crohn's. They make fun of your Crohn's a lot, which is, again, making fun of people.
So funny story, I just told this to my friend the other day because I eat a lot of, when I go, the safe place is a Taco Bell bean burrito. It is because the one thing I know is I'm not going to give me a problem. That is why I eat so many. It's not that I love Taco Bell.
The rumor that Taco Bell gives everybody the runs is the meat, not...
Oh.
But everyone's like, oh my gosh, Taco Bell messed up my stomach. I never get meat from Taco Bell.
I gotcha.
And it has never messed up my stomach.
Not mine, it's bean burritos.
Because the 7-layer burrito is back. The 7-layer burrito has been my safe food.
But that's the kind of things, it's... And that's what cyberbullies turn into, is like, you can say anything and you can get other people to jump on board and believe it and then just turn it into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and before you know it, it's like, I should be in jail.
Probably.
Even though supposedly I've been investigated by the Attorney General, the FBI,
yeah, because of these people.
Yes,
they turn into real life. And the scary thing for everyone, we're joking about this, but the scary thing for people, YouTubers, streamers, I don't know if anyone's heard the term swatting.
Oh, yes.
But during a live stream, essentially, people will send the police to someone's house saying that they are a threat, a danger, they're doing something, they have a bomb, they're whatever it is that they say. And people have died from this because the police will barge in thinking that there is this imminent threat and that these people are dangerous, vicious terrorists or criminals. And then people get hurt.
I actually had to have a talk with the kids about it.
That's terrifying.
And then I stopped doing live streams at the house for that reason. Although thinking back now, like even though I wasn't live streaming from the house, I mean, my address was doxed.
Yeah.
And that is where
Multiple
SWAT
times.
would have gone. So then I started back to doing live streams from my house so I could be there if
anything happened. But
something happened. But yeah, it was horrifying. It's horrifying that the real life things that can happen because of cyberbullying.
yes.
Was leaving my property one day and there was a note from animal control and didn't know that. Jumped out of the car to grab it for me and I looked at it. She looked at it first and started crying. And so I got it from her, and it was animal control had been called out that we were abusing her. And the first thing she thought was like somebody was going to come take all her animals away.
That's terrifying.
It was on her birthday too. So, and you know, Mama Bear, I was so angry, because I knew where it had come from. And actually,
Confirmed.
you can hear the recording someone places on you, even if they do it anonymous. So I know exactly what's going on. So this is the kind of stuff. It isn't just people, because I get told you got to get a thick skin. And, you know, it's not what people say. It is the actions that escalate out of
Yes.
this coming together and dogpiling and making somebody about, like,
Dogpiling.
yeah,
You said it.
Yeah.
You said it, the other catchword.
But we have courts of law. We have ways. If you truly think somebody's a bad person,
Go proper
there
channels.
are ways. And like I said, I've been investigated by all of these entities and still.
Are you banned from Whatnot?
Nope.
Oh, what about eBay?
Nope. You know, and I also, being an entrepreneur who has had businesses and who has put myself out there and risked myself. I've had employees. Tell me one business owner who has not had disgruntled employees. You're going to get somebody who...
Wait.
Are you still thinking?
Yeah.
Oh. But no, you're going to get people who are unhappy with you. And especially, and I will say, I didn't always do it. I'm not saying that I did everything right.
No.
I was a horrible boss. Because I was stressed out and emotionally immature and did not know how to handle situations and people. And one of my neurodivergent techniques is to go hide, to get away from everybody. And then they see that as not handling things. Like, you're not being the boss. You're not dealing with things.
Yes.
And so that was just a mess for me.
Yeah.
I bite off more than I can chew a lot. So I have had people unhappy with me. And I have publicly apologized. I've apologized to some of them in writing, because we don't talk face to face. And but I can't go back and change that. I can only learn from experiences, be better now. I have employees now that are very happy working for me.
Well, okay, and let's be real quick. You never did anything illegal, abusive, even
I've had things that people have twisted into that.
Sure.
But
I have previous employers that actually did illegal things. Mm-hmm. And what I did was I wrote a Glassdoor review and I talk with my friends about it, and then I move on with my life.
Yeah.
Are they still doing those things? I don't know, probably. Are they still doing, illicit drugs their... but
I think that's one of the things with the neurodivergence is we ruminate on things. So I go back and go, I see these things I'm accused of, and I go back and go, did I? Was
this
it
questioning of
yeah, I second
maybe
guess,
I did something wrong.
Everything, so, and it people who are like the bookkeepers and the CPA and all that, they no, my attorney. No, and so that's helped me kind of calm down. But you do question yourself. You do when you become the target of this, you're
internalize too some of the things that because they talk a lot about our appearance, and I have to have the emojis, any horse related emoji, I have to have blocked on my channel because people love to make fun of the fact that I have this gum thing.
Oh, my gummy smile?
Yeah.
You got my gummy smile?
I got your gummy smile. You know what that is, right?
I get that a lot. Mm-hmm.
That's hypermobility. Yeah. It's another disability trait. Yep. I'll get mad. It's been 3 years of these people, these bullies, just relentlessly every single day making fun of us. And it's, again, not something that we are unfamiliar with. We've dealt with it our entire life.
Yeah.
But then these people will also sit there and say that they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Fascinating. But then it got worse. You thought that was bad, then it got worse.
Well, the other thing too is I have been accused of betraying friends. Just that I pursued people to use them. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? Whoa. whoa.
Yeah.
Because number one, I've never walked away from a friendship, and I never pursued anybody that I'd gone into business with. I was the target because I want to help everybody. I was very open,
I feel okay.
oversharing.
Let's dial back target. Because I feel like a lot of the relationship happened genuinely. I feel like a lot of the things happened, maybe not one of them. Okay, maybe not a couple of them. Maybe not a couple. But
one of them actually says she stalked me, and I laughed about it. Like, wow.
Well,
it's that whole when somebody tells you who they are, you need to listen kind of thing. But we don't listen.
Hold on. You know my funny thing about stalking, right? Well, because this is gonna sound bad out of context now, but stalking is the most romantic thing if it's accepted, but the creepiest thing if it's not.
But just a note, that might be a really good clip at the beginning.
Yeah. I'm not saying anyone should stalk anyone, but being pursued is people's desire.
Right. And it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, the start of all those relationships that you had, I do believe that there was genuinity, making up a word there, in them.
For them, there was, but
but both sides of it.
But no.
No one at the point knew how to have functional relationships.
Well, there is that, but you also can't disregard evil intent.
Sure,
and I'm thinking of I've got one in particular in my brain that was purely evil intent. There was no desire to have
maybe
a friendship.
But you can't assume other people's intent.
They have come out and said it.
I know.
They've confessed it. So,
yeah.
When they tell you.
I guess. Sure.
But I think it goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the attraction of someone who's vulnerable to someone who is... Because narcissists are insecure people. Let's just be clear. They are not the confident the people that they portray. They are highly insecure people. And
hold on, wait. Where's the being neurodivergent can lead someone to bullying?
To bullying?
To being a bully.
To being a bully. Yeah. And we are encompassing a lot of things into neurodivergence. So, yes, and
here's the thing.
I don't want it to sound like we're excusing bad behavior.
No. And I'm not saying that because they're neurodivergent,
they get a pass.
No.
Right. Okay. Just want to clear that.
I'm saying that because we are neurodivergent, the people that we connect with, and probably a lot of you viewers, have you seen throughout these episodes, you're recognizing things that are leading you to discover things about your brain and neurodivergence. It's because neurodivergent people connect with neurodivergent people. So if you've ever heard the sentiment like, oh, all of my friends are neurodivergent. Well, yeah, duh, because they understand each other's brains.
That's kind of like when I hear that I'm the common denominator. Well, yeah, that's why you're talking about it. Yeah, because we're not talking about somebody over there. We're talking about me.
I want to find this neurodivergent leads to bullying.
Okay. All right. Yes, I could see that. Absolutely. And I have seen that escalate into even beyond bullying and illegal behaviors and such in people that are clearly neurodivergent. But I think that also goes back to that emotional intelligence factor.
Yeah.
Impulse control. Also biggie.
Wanting to be popular. Wanting to fit in.
Well, that's insecurity.
Yeah.
That's insecurity.
Okay. I want to take back what I said, and because I know it'll get flamed if I don't. No. Neurodivergence doesn't lead to bullying, but neurodivergent individuals are far more likely to be bullied. And though some neurodivergent kids can bully due to similar social deficits, lack of empathy, or past trauma, requiring focused social emotional learning, not just neurodiversity awareness.
Yeah. I think some damage, trauma, whatever, stunted your emotional intelligence, that is what leads to bullying.
Yes. It's the inability to look at yourself and say, what did I do to contribute to this? And how can I get better? And then putting the focus on someone else and saying, well, they did bad, so that justifies my reaction.
And people don't want to feel vulnerable. And some people take that to the level of, well, then I'm going to come across as this confident. Yeah.
You know what you're talking about now.
You know what I'm talking about now. Oh, and then, again, we've got so many complex issues because you got the narcissism in there, but narcissism stems out of...
Well, there's narcissistic traits and then there's narcissists.
It's true.
You are neither. You had narcissistic traits, I think.
Well, I think all human beings do to a certain extent.
Again, it's a human trait.
But a true narcissist operates out of this feeling of insecurity, and some of them are the boastful types. They are the look at me, look what I've done,
Lie about their accomplishments over and
I hate to say this. This will probably get snipped and put out there, but a lot of them become content creators. Male ones.
It's attractive to have the love, the gush, the attention. That's what they crave.
Yeah.
Going back to cyberbullying, dogpiling, what we've experienced in this, honestly, it's gotten the worst this last year.
This year was, I think for me, because I thought that I had gotten through it. I thought I had learned, to just do my business, get going, and then it really so much negativity and actions being taken that were hurting my family. I almost crumbled and fell. I almost quit everything.
We were on the phone probably daily, and
you were pregnant.
I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I was talking off the ledge. It got to a point where I had to tell you,
yeah,
I can't talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
And
then that triggered a whole nother.
Yeah, that was a whole.
I mean, I think that was the trigger, though. That, what I was talking about earlier, that was the piece like, oh my gosh, I have to figure this out because I'm not going to have her again.
I did send some very harsh text messages.
You did.
I was also in prodromal labor. So,
but no, it's all good. I'm happy things have happened the way they have, because we are closer than we've ever been in our lives, and we're still learning things and getting closer. But it's, it's still hard. Like, I still have my days where I got to get on the phone with you and you got to snap me out of it, And
again, we can sit here and we can say, I'm a confident person. I know I'm a confident person. You're getting there. It takes some coaching to get you to be confident. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it feels really bad when people are mean to you.
Especially somebody
that you...
when it's people that you know you in person.
They adopted you and...
Oh, yeah, and you're... Yeah. Well, and you even
stood up for them.
Stood up for them and defended them. And it caused issues with us because... you did not just automatically take mom's side, and
there is no side. That's
but I mean, that's the terminology.
Sure.
We're not going to abandon those friendships, and they meant something to you. And then, but then again, then you see the true color of somebody whose motive is not to keep a relationship and be a friend and be part of your life.
And I can't, make assumptions on what their motives were. And I thought I knew these individuals better than I did, apparently. But audacity to say that I am young and immature and attention seeking when this is how adults twice my age are acting is telling in and of itself.
More than twice your age, truth be told.
How old am I now?
We just have these conversations. No, because the more we talk about your age, the older it makes me feel. So.
If you have been following along on this journey of the random craziness online, I'm sorry. It's been quite the circus. Don't think I ever had someone starting a podcast about us on our 2025 bingo card, but
yeah, yay.
And then people who I didn't even know. So, okay. I made my Exposing the Niche Lady video, right? About the people that were talking about me. And then, the most defining thing that I said in there was, if you think I'm making a video about you, I'm not. It's your guilty conscience. And then someone, I had no idea, started making videos saying that I made a video about them. And I'm like, you're not even in this.
Yeah.
Fascinating. But at the end of the day, I appreciate my followers and my fan base because you see through the BS. And everyone was like, yeah, we tuned out a long time ago because they discredit themselves by the things that they say. From the outside looking in, you can tell when people are bullying people.
Well, let me just say, too, I appreciate my fan base that didn't buy into it and realized what was going on, and that, using the niche lady in your video title, get you views and money.
I did it.
Yeah, I did it. I give you permission. But I want to go circle back then.
How?
Wait, I'm just circling back to wrap this into cyberbullying comes out of like in-person bullying used to be all you could do.
Right.
And now we have this thing called the internet where you can just make a screen name and you can be anybody. You can be this persona. I would guarantee that 99.9% of these people behind a screen name, if we were face to face with them,
They wouldn't say it to your face.
they wouldn't say a darn thing. They'd be nice as pie. And so we've created this system that has fueled bullying, cyberbullying, and we try to protect kids from it.
But we don't. Yeah, we don't.
But we're not protecting adults from it. And I know people who are no longer on this earth because of cyberbullying. And I understand that more than most people know at this point of how that really gets into your psyche.
I want to know, just because everything that they say is a projection 90% of the time. How many of the accounts are them talking to themselves?
Oh, well,
Because they
I
accuse
can
us of
verify.
having...
I can verify that one of them has at least 20 accounts.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
That was also not on my 2025 thing.
I've watched them make videos and then talk to themselves in the comments. That's
Look,
yeah.
you can't trust anybody these days.
I know. It goes to what we're talking about is you need to develop relationships in a way that secures trust. I have a tendency to overshare and glom and just openly trust and wear my heart on my sleeve and you're not going to hurt me. And those are the very people who turn around and hurt me. It took me a long time to hire anybody again. Very long time to hire anybody again.
Yeah.
Because I was fearful of that. And now I have, contracts in place and everything. There's repercussions if you go out and do things like this, and which is so weird because I don't see myself as a celebrity or, but to some people I am. To some people I am that target. To some people I am that she's got something I want and I'm going to figure out how to get to her and get it kind of thing. And
or that think you don't deserve it.
or that think I don't deserve
all
it.
your videos.
Or that I need some accountability for I don't know of any other YouTuber who's been as accountable as I have with I've openly talked about my mistakes and I have hurt people. I'm aware of that. We all hurt people. We hurt people.
YouTube on YouTuber crime is I get it.
I'm a grifter.
Yeah, you're great.
I'm a grifter.
Oh, I'm a scammer.
Because if I truly had the confidence to go out there and do what I see other successful people doing with super chats for this, I am so bad about self-promoting and putting and asking for anything. Just watch my videos. That's all I ask. Just watch my videos. I always have something that I am selling. And then I will give a portion, to whatever cause. I never ask for money. I never put up a GoFundMe or, do anything like that for anything.
I think we're straying off the topic because this has been deeply affecting our lives for the last 3 years. But let's talk about how to deal with bullies.
Good transition.
Because I'm sure they understand who they are and that we're talking about them.
Yeah.
But the way to deal with bullies is to starve them of attention. And that's what we had to do. We had to stop watching. We had to turn it off. And honestly, it wasn't hard because some of them were 3 hours long. How do you say the same things over and over for 3 hours? I don't know. But you have to at some point stop reading the negativity. Because if you're giving your attention to that, if you're feeding them,
you're fueling the little guy digging the negative tunnel instead of the positive one.
And eventually, and we saw this play out in real time too. We had this whole conversation of all right, we just gotta nip it in the bud. We're no longer engaging. We're no longer giving them the satisfaction that in our subconscious we watched it and we're saying something and then they got a little bored and they started fighting with themselves because their target stopped giving them attention and now they had to bully someone else. So the bullies never go away. They just kind of redirect because again, they're never going to take accountability for their own lives and unhappiness. And I remember I was scrolling down in one of the Redditors' posts and I saw this, the most revealing aspect that ties this whole conversation in. Out of the thousands of posts about us talking about how we're scammers, terrible people, there was one post there that said, I'm so lonely, I don't know how to deal with it. And that just kind of paints the picture of the mindset that people are in that do these kind of things. And again, it doesn't excuse it. It doesn't make it okay. But as we're talking about this from wise to wise, we have to understand how people get to this point. And
it was cliche, but hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
I mean, it's true.
And while I can empathize and say, like, yeah, that sucks, it doesn't excuse, but as the target of bullying, you have to be able to turn it off. And I know that I've had this conversation with you. I've had this conversation with another target of someone's videos who just said the most disgusting things that I don't understand why YouTube would allow those videos to be up. And I say them to everyone that is dealing with this kind of BS and feeling this way about someone talking negatively about them. You have to ignore the bullies because it'll drive you insane. And sometimes the other problem is sometimes you can't. And
especially if you have a brain that ruminates on things, especially if you have a brain that hyper focuses on things, it's doubly hard.
Mm-hmm. I think this is going into raising a child and how I'm going to teach my child to deal with bullies is sometimes when you ignore the bully in the real world that they're pushing. Sometimes you need to stand up for yourself and punch back. And I think we did a little bit of that this year.
Legally, the correct way, the way you're supposed to. Still in that process, but not by countering it with like for like.
No,
it is there is a way to handle things.
Stand your ground and say, like, this is unacceptable. I mean, there's unfortunately nothing you can do about the Reddit group besides I'm sure they're going to get their Reddit taken down again for hate speech again because Reddit keeps identifying that they have hate speech again.
It is never okay to group up and try to take somebody down and because you don't like them.
Talking about people's appearance. Talking about people, like, just if you don't like someone, shift your focus to something you do like.
There are hundreds of thousands of YouTube channels out there.
There really are. And that's not to say that people don't deserve to be talked about for their bad actions.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say, too, is, there's people out there who.
This entire podcast series is about talking about our people that have harmed us again, but we're not naming any names for reasons of those people still don't deserve to be targeted and bullied by everyone on the internet.
No,
they deserve to be
ignored,
locked up.
Well, that too.
Sent to court, put to prison, but not bullied by and harassed by everyone on the internet.
Yeah, that's not the answer.
Everyone on the internet. If you don't know someone in person, if you don't have their phone number, you can't call them up and say, hey, you did this thing wrong, maybe it's not your place. And if you don't want to call that person and have that confrontation with them, maybe it's not your place.
We got it. And I think we touched on this in prior episodes too, is tough conversations are hard. Like if you are in a friendship or an employee-employer relationship, if you have a relationship with someone and you are unhappy with an element of that relationship, the answer is not to go to the internet and go find people that agree with you that will validate your feelings. The answer is to go to that person and have the hard conversation and decide, is this something that's repairable? Is it something that I want to repair? Or is it something that I need to walk away from because it's not healthy and my life is better than that?
Yes.
And then the bullying and the cyberbullying comes in when we can't have those hard conversations and we go and find people who will agree with us and join forces. And now you've got mob mentality.
Mm-hmm. Expanding beyond just our, I think we see a lot of this normalized in social media.
Completely.
It is very easy to see something online and they're behind a screen. They're not real. It's just a TV show to us. It's just, like someone else and we leave a mean comment or we say something, in passing that we think is not a big deal. But the person receiving those comments internalizes all of that and sees that and it now becomes their reality that you're just in passing saying something off the cuff, saying something funny.
We're real human beings.
Yeah.
Behind the camera. real human beings. Imperfect, real human beings.
It's something I wish that, it's going to get worse before it gets better, I'm sure.
It is. And I mean, and I know you're going to get the comments too, that there are figures out there speaking that have leadership positions and things who have normalized making fun of people. And I hate that. I hate that we can't all be adults out there. Like, you can disagree and you can not like the way things are done. When it crosses the line into how somebody looks, what somebody's behavior is, because a lot of times those are neurodivergent characteristics that they're pointing out, it's not good. And it's not good, especially from people with influence. I'm just going to get ahead of those comments right there and say it. You don't have to say any of the names. We know. Comments.
We know. It's a scary world out there right now to be raising a baby.
Yeah, Yoshi agrees.
If you are being bullied or you have experienced this in the past, please find someone to reach out to that can be your support system, because you need a support system as much as you're being the target of being bullied. And I'm so sorry for anyone that resonates with this experience and understands the pain that it feels to be made fun of for something that you have no control over, something that you were born with, a difference in the way that you act or say things or talk or look or feel. It's ironic that we're told to embrace our individuality, embrace our differences, embrace and have the joy that you want in your life. And then as soon as you are out of the status quo, people are like, that person's different. Okay, well, you just told me to be different. We're all different.
Yeah.
If we were all the same, it'd be a really boring world.
Completely.
Or maybe we need a little bit less of an exciting world, actually.
It is that, but it is also, I think the people like expressing and saying that too, they get uncomfortable when you're doing it and they still haven't gotten there where they can do it.
Oh, that actually is a big, masking, you're not autistic, right?
Oh.
But you just hit on something that because my ADHD brain is getting ahead of myself. Okay. When you have such a strong mask that has helped you survive in this world and fit in and blend in, and you see somebody else not doing the mask, they're not, they're doing the thing that you're not allowed to do. And that is tied to that neurodivergent feeling of you're not masking correctly. You're not doing the thing that everyone has to do to stay in line.
I feel like that might be a good topic to pick up on in the next episode. Because masking is another one of those new terms that I'm still figuring out all of that. So can we have that discussion next time?
Let's have that discussion next time. And please let us know in the comments if there's anything that you would like to talk about, or if you want to be a guest on our podcast.
Yeah.
If you're my age, send this to your parents and tell them you want to come on here and chat with us.
Yeah. If you're my age and you want to send this to your kids, they might want to come on here and talk with us. It'd be great to get a parent and a kid. That'd be fun.
We're going to unpack some things that I don't think we're ready to... Again, we're
going with
Disclaimer. We're not mental health professionals. We are just becoming experts in our own brains.
Yes.
So please let that be your...
And we're hoping by us sharing our hard conversations, it helps you have those hard conversations.
Sorry, I think my baby has slept. I think he thinks it's nighttime sleep.
Oh, of course he does.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Danny.
Thank you for watching this episode of From Wise to Wise. We'll see you in the next one.